Hello Reformers, and welcome back to Floris Expanded. Now we have on our screens right now a sovereignty being eliminated, and that sovereignty is the Saranid Sultanate. Now we have seen something like this before. I believe it happened with the Vajirs, and they were able to resurrect their faction at a later time. So we will have to keep an eye out for any particular wrongdoing by any particular Saranid vassals that may potentially want to defect to us or maybe defect to other factions. So we'll have to watch for them rather carefully, I think. And now we will continue on of where I was actually attempting to go, and that was to find this particular fellow right here. As you can see, he is, I believe, or at least I hope he is, the leader of the Khergit Khanate. I don't believe so somehow, but he does have a rather large army for being a regular vassal. So let us now charge in, as he was actually raiding Nomar, which is just over here. So I was hoping to prevent that because I was attempting to recruit some units, because if you can see here, I do actually have a rather good army composition going on right here, but the only unfortunate thing is, I think you can guess what's actually going to happen here. I have actually taken quite a lot of units from Praven, and I have only left it with 18 defending it. So yes, that is a very bad thing indeed. And what I'm hoping to do is, once we have defeated this fellow, I will be doing this off screen, of course, but I will be going around various areas. As you can see though, we have quite a few issues with our villages being raided, so I thought maybe it would be a rather good idea to check around, make sure that the villages that haven't been raided stay that way. And who would I find here? This fellow, and Konungur Ragnar, who is right over there. He is traveling to Sargoth, so we can only hope that he might attack the Swadians, I don't know, but yes. Anyway, we will head in versus this particular fellow, and we will see how we do, because he does outnumber us, so you never know, we may have some issues. Okay, so we might be able to persuade him. No, apparently not. We don't have enough persuasion, or his relation just isn't high enough. Okay, let's head in. Okay, so he has 325, we have 263, not too bad. Although his composition probably has a lot more level 7s, I can tell you. I have no level 7s whatsoever, so we may be in a little bit of trouble if we allow the level 7s to do their damage, as it were. But I don't believe that will be the case in this particular situation, or at least I can hope so. So let's head over here, make sure we get our archers on a rather significant vantage point. I think this is good enough. How many do we have? Quite a lot. Okay, that's not too bad. I did actually head to a lot of Rhodoks areas, because I noticed that the Rhodoks are actually not at war with anyone, or at least they're not at war with anyone that is actually raiding their villages. So all of their villages were intact, and we are not at war with them, so our morale would not go down, and that is a rather good situation, I must admit. So let's actually check out what's going on here. They are not moving. Okay, well, let us now move our infantry in front of our archers. And we have a lot of cavalry. I did not intend for this to happen, but it seems as though we do. I mainly took all of the high-level units I could find in Praven, and hope that it does not become under siege, because I think Praven is actually one of the hardest towns to defend, or at least for me. I don't really remember the layout that well, but I can remember that we had some rather tough sieges there, so potentially would be a rather bad idea. Okay, so let's now move our archers a little bit further up. I think what we will do now is start moving further towards the enemy, because they are not going to move, or at least they're going to move rather slowly, and we will attempt to do a rather similar maneuver. Let's see how that works out anyway. Aha! We might be baiting out a bit of their cavalry, maybe, to charge us. That would be very nice indeed. And who is this infantry on this horse here? Artie Menner, how could you? I must reassign your tag. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, hopefully I will remember to do that after this particular skirmish. Oh, here they come. Okay, so it seems as though the cavalry really want to deal some damage, so we will send in our cavalry as well and hopefully take them all down. Let's do it, guys. Come on. I think we'll be fine because we have all of our archers right next to us, and our cavalry is now charging in. Their infantry is now charging in response to that, of course. And, of course, I will be incredibly bad at melee combat. Oh, never mind. Okay, 2 kills, not too bad. 3 kills? Yes, amazing. That is record-breaking. Okay, well, let's head after this guy, maybe? Yeah. It seems he has quite a lot of mercenary units in his army composition, which is quite strange, to say the least. I've never known a vassal to have this many mercenary units, so yeah, wow. I don't know why that is the case, but potentially he cannot use any other faction's units because all of the villages have been raided, maybe? Maybe that's the case, yes, I would expect so. Or he was lucky enough to be able to take prisoner quite a few units and then maybe train them up, because I believe farmers? No, I don't believe farmers become mercenary horsemen, do they? Or mercenary swordsmen? No, I don't think so. But yes, it's rather interesting to see how many he actually has. Look at that, we're actually suffering a few casualties at the hands of mercenary swordsmen. I am rather unsure of where you would actually get those, apart from in taverns, of course. They do level up from caravan guards, maybe? So potentially he rescued a few caravan guards from some bandits? Maybe that was it. That is a mystery. Okay, well, we will continue to slaughter the enemy. And, oh my, okay, maybe not. He seems rather intent on sending in a lot of mercenary units. These are manhunters now. Okay, well, I have found a few mercenary units of my own. As you can see, a level 6 horse archer called the Black Widow. I found, I believe it was only 3 of those in a tavern when I was in the Rodok Republic, I believe. I think it was Veluca? Was it Veluca? I think so. My memory recall is not exactly the best, but yes, I believe it was that anyway. Oh yeah, take him down. Oh, there we are, caravan guard, so potentially a future mercenary swordsman in the making. And, whoa, we're actually doing a really good job now. As you can see, our Black Widows are incredibly effective by the looks of things. Doing a phenomenal job at the moment. Let's hope that we don't lose any of them. I would really not like to do that because I paid quite a bit for them. Enough that I would have to actually go to my treasury and take out a bit of cash. Otherwise, there would be no way for me to actually sustain the army and pay their wages every week, which is rather unfortunate, but such is the way in war. Oh my. They have a lot of cavalry, it seems. And as you can see, yes, a lot of caravan guards. Oh my, look at that. Caravan guards everywhere. How dare you have caravan guards. Yes, take them down. There we are, another manhunter. I remember we used to have quite a lot of manhunters, so potentially they rescued them from some bandits, because I believe as I was running around the Rodok Republic territory, I saw a huge army of, I believe it was mountain bandits, and they had around, this is an estimate after all, I didn't stick around to actually count, but they had around 800, maybe 700 units altogether, because they are all separate, but they run around in one big group. And yes, I did not want to engage that, because goodness knows we would probably take quite the beating. I believe mountain bandits are rather good at spear bracing. Or is that forest bandits? I think it might be forest bandits, because I remember quite a long time ago in this particular series, I was up against... was it 60 forest bandits? I think it was 60 forest bandits. And we went in, and I was like, oh yes, we can defeat these guys very easily indeed. And yes, lo and behold, I was rather incorrect about that particular statement, and we proceeded to take a rather severe loss, and that was mainly due to the fact that this was the first time I was actually encountering spear bracing in this mod, and I had a primarily cavalry force, so we pretty much got massacred. So that was a rather harsh lesson, but I learnt it rather well, or at least I hope so. Not to take bandits lightly in this mod, because they are a lot better equipped than pretty much any other mod, I would think, maybe apart from Blood and Steel, to be honest, but yeah, it's rather interesting anyway. And there we are, that was indeed a victory. 9 renown was our reward for that, and oh, we did actually lose one of the Black Widows. That is a terrible shame right there. We actually lost a lot of other units as well, mainly due to the fact that Jeremus has not returned. Now, I know I stated in the previous episode that Jeremus may have gone to one of the taverns and he may have escaped getting captured, but he actually wasn't with us to begin with. He wasn't actually in the siege defense with us, I don't believe anyway. And that is because I actually sent him away, or at least I thought I sent him away, to speak to Konungur Ragnar about peaceful relations between the Kingdom of Nords and our faction. So he has actually not returned yet. I believe that takes about 2 in-game weeks, and I think it's been about 1 so far. So yeah, we'll hopefully get him back sooner rather than later, because he is our only medic. And I'm not entirely sure why I am using tactics for this, because there is only 1 unit remaining. I'm not entirely sure why the game insists on actually doing these rounds, because it is a rather foregone conclusion. Maybe in Mount & Blade 2 they will fine-tune the calculations a little bit. So instead of running this fellow into his death, it will be something like, the enemy units have retreated to their hideout, or something similar to that effect, and that would be quite a nice calculation to save us some time and to save that particular fellow's life as well. Now, we have actually been given the option of taking this fellow prisoner. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether I want to do that, because he does field a rather large army, but it would be quite nice if he defects at some point for him to join us, because he has such a large army. Not entirely sure on that. I think we will let him go, and then if he persists in being a pest to us, then we will hopefully take him prisoner at a later date. So that should be rather fine, or at least I hope so. Yes, there we are, and he has now given us a rather devious and threatening message at the end there. Okay, well, we can take the very few prisoners that they actually gave us, and oh, we actually were awarded a champion mule. Well, that is rather impressive, actually. It's not too bad, if I do say so myself. I mean, obviously the armor is very low, but it's faster, and it is more maneuverable than my horse, which is rather astounding, to say the least. Okay, well, I will let my heroes choose what they want, and Artimena is actually going to be riding that mule, so that's pretty cool. We will soon see him on that particular mount, which is very nice indeed. So we will let our companions collect the rest of that, and then we will head on. And I'm a little unsure whether we should take out the Forest Bandit camp, because as I was saying in that particular fight, we should not underestimate bandits by any means. So, I am actually just going to run away from Konungur Ragnar. There he is right now. I'm hoping that Jeremus hasn't been taken prisoner at some point or another. But yes, I don't think emissaries are allowed to be taken prisoner. Or at least in this iteration. Ah, they are being chased by forest bandits. I would like to assist them. Okay, well, let's just see what we actually can buy. No more food. They haven't restocked, unfortunately, since the last time I was here. That is unfortunate. Okay, well, at least Artimana can sell those 47 items, and now we will level up a few of our units for the next battle. Let's get some more infantry. I think that might be quite nice. Horse archers, more cavalry. The only problem I have with Jacobites is that they only level into Jacobites. As you can see here, they don't... Oh, they do actually level into something else. Oh, okay. Well, I was actually getting mixed up, apparently, with something else. Okay, well, that's rather nice. It's good that I tested that out before I actually committed to that. So, yes, let's get a few more of these infantry. That should help us out quite a bit. And before I forget, Artimana, you will be transferred to the cavalry group. And you will join Lezelet. Yes, that's very nice indeed. Okay. Okay, so we have 226 out of 307. That is not too bad at all, if I do say so myself. We will put these 2 prisoners in the hold here, and then we will continue onward. Now, the only problem I'm having at the moment is, as you can see, the money problems we are currently having is not the greatest. So, we may have some issues. Ooh, we should actually help this caravan. Let's do it. Rush to the aid of the caravan. Yes. Okay, so they only have 42, but I believe this is worth it to enable our caravan to totally be unmolested on his way to his destination. That would be quite nice, and now we have to be rather cautious, because as I said before, spear bracing is our mortal enemy, because we do have a lot of cavalry in this particular army. So, ooh, a Black Widow already got a kill there, very nice. Okay, so let's just charge in, get our archers over here, make them hold position, and let's just hope. Come on, guys. Don't run into the spear bracing. Okay, it seems the caravan guards are not listening to me. Oh well. That's not too bad, I suppose. We will hopefully take out as many of them as we can, or at least I can, with taking down their archers. And there's a Black Widow running around there. Very cool indeed. And I believe that was it. A very easy bout indeed, but, well, yes, what can we expect? Of course, they only had 42, and there we are. Now we will be able to hopefully get that caravan on its way again, and we should be okay to gather the profits from whatever it is delivering. So, some mercenary swordsmen, talk of the devil, and we will take a few prisoners as well. So let's... Oh, no one wants to upgrade. Okay, well, I don't think I can really blame them, considering this particular loot is not exactly the most expensive, or the greatest, of course. So, yes, I think what I will do now is end this episode off here, and just before I leave you, I must also mention that 2 vassals from the Saranid Sultanate have actually arrived at Suno, and I have accepted their pledges and given them a village each, because as I stated at the start of the video, we have to be a little cautious about Saranid vassals defecting, because you never know when they may decide that your faction is no longer good enough for them. So, I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.